Intro. We're watching The Apple, which is about House Varun. There's a snake. Well, there's a paper mache snake head. Um, I think there's a computer involved. Doomsday Machine is about the planet killer. That one's cool. Everybody loves the planet killer. It's interesting that it's just a geometric shape. I feel like that's the case for a lot of the big Star Trek TOS villains. Like we had the evil circle before, well, the evil sphere, which turned out to be a baby. That was fine. And then Catspaw, which is just a Halloween episode. It's just straight up
Nice.
Halloween. And was it last year or maybe it was the year before? We've been doing this a while now. We watched Catspaw as like a Halloween special thing because TOS was so far away. And what do you know? It just lined up that we're doing it again for Halloween. Wow, how convenient.
This is great.
So, what's the deal with Halloween over there, Soma?
It's relatively the same. Dress up, do trick or treating.
Do people have like giant monsters out on their lawns?
You don't
Wait, no, you're right,
generally
they don't do
have
lawns there.
huge decorations, so there are some that do that now.
Okay. There's some giant ones around here. I don't know. It's like a. I looked it up. Apparently, you can get it from Home Depot. It's like a giant skeleton with a pumpkin for a brain, but it's not quite a skeleton. It has like a little bit of really gaunt skin on it, and it has lights in its chest, so it glows. I don't know why you get this from a home improvement store, but whatever, man.
We don't generally have gardens that are large enough in the UK. We're a bit more space efficient than you guys.
Well, if you don't need a lot of space in square footage or square meterage, you just need height, really.
True.
Just a little space on the ground. It's the great thing about skeletons, they're very thin. It's very convenient. And yes, of course, it's very important to remember that each of us has a spooky skeleton inside us right now. The horror. How's your skeleton doing? Your skeleton good? Getting enough calcium?
It feels alright.
Alright. It's very important to get those calciums. The apple, though. I should probably talk about that. So at the end of last week, I was talking about how I didn't know what it was, so I was like, does anyone know what it is? And we talked about it and figured out what it was. And then I immediately forgot. So I had to look it up again. Apparently, yeah, it's the snake. Also, apparently everybody's painted red. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, how about the weather?
Oh, it's been raining a fair amount here.
Nice. The rain's kind of stopped over here for now. It was raining for a few days, but now it's all sunny again. It's the worst. Absolute worst. But it should be coming back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look up a forecast. I want to see when it's going to rain again. This is very important. Okay, it should start raining again Thursday. Okay. I need to make it 4 more days. 1 minute to the Apple, which is season 2, episode 5, maybe? You'll find it. It's called The Apple. It's not that hard to find. It's in season 2 somewhere.
It's marked as episode 5, so.
Okay, cool. I trust me. That's probably right.
What is it on Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of streaming, let me stream the countdown. That's important. Very important. Do you use the countdown stream?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody press play in 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
We're starting straight off with the beam down to the planet.
Yeah. So the exterior, well, exterior shot. These are all exterior shots. The orbital shot of the planet, it did look fairly unique, which is nice. When they beam down, it's now the same planet as always, but I liked the exterior. It's not exterior. It's not the right word. You know what I
No, it's
mean.
a totally different planet. It's an orange background this time.
God, I can't believe that's how they represented alien planets in Star Trek. Solid color, solid primary color backgrounds.
Take one guess who's gonna die this episode.
That guy on the left, the far left of the screen right now,
There's
I
almost
bet
certainly
him.
gonna be red shirt death.
I mean, last week we didn't get even one death, did we? We get
Indeed.
like 13 out of the 15 deaths we've had so far were in the first like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's way too hot. Is it just like Russia? I don't associate Russia with 76 degrees. I mean, he could be
I
right.
don't
He
quite
knows
get
best.
Gene's whole let's make Western things Russian ideas or whatever. Like they have a totally different thing.
Look, he struck a deal with the publishing studio. If he was going to have a Rusky on the show, they had to make fun of him. We can't have Soviets here for nothing.
Oh, that might well be a death. Well, he's actually been declared dead by McCoy, so.
Don't take it personally, Kirk. It was just an Come on. I was actually looking away when the thing shot. Did it kill someone?
Yes, yes.
All right, I'm going to count it. 16 deaths. Thank you, show. Thank you.
McCoy declared him dead.
It feels so rare to get an away team member to die these days. I mean, I know people have done the math. I think they figured out that Kirk is the deadliest captain. He loses the
Yeah.
most people. Other than Archer, who was in the middle of a war with one ship, you know, doing his whole thing in the
Yeah,
Expanse. That
Archer
doesn't
was
count.
literally in wartime. He was the safest during peacetime and the most deadly during wartime.
Yes. Though even during wartime, like Cisco lost what, like 3 people? He was fine. I remember he lost Munoz. Did he even lose anyone else? I mean, Dax, but he wasn't there. Wow, wait, what? What does that mean? How do you lose potency in the antimatter? Yeah, Kirk, I'm uh I'm a little concerned about how nonchalant Kirk is about the fact that a man just died.
Yes.
He's having a great time down here.
Yeah, he's a bit relaxed. Well, not just relaxed, but completely, yeah, as you said, nonchalant.
This is exactly why he's the deadliest peacetime captain, because he just doesn't care. All he needs to know about those crewmen are they aren't him, so they don't matter.
I mean, He does seem to know the names of every single member of his crew, which is good.
Well, technically, I think that plant was venomous. Very different.
Yes.
Spock, shoot him. Come on, you've got a gun. Stun the humanoid. So sound just happened, but none of the actual words came through. It was very muffled. Mr. Hendorf, no.
It is good that, well, it is reasonable that Hurt knows the name of every crewman because there's only like
Yeah.
400 crew members, and as a teacher, they have to know like 400 names.
Formation L. They're...
They're just in a line.
Yeah, what does that mean? Maybe that refers to the order that they're walking in.
Possibly.
Dead meat's at the front instead of Kirk in Formation L.
Well, it makes sense you'd always have a security person going in front of the captain of the ship.
Who
That's an
talks like
interesting
that,
way of
Spock?
saying wait.
Yeah, it's light. Come on. Okay, no, this is my favorite rock. So some people are saying there's issues with the stream. I'm not dropping any frames. It looks good on my end. I can view it on YouTube. It's working for me.
Yeah, it's the stream. I'm getting the wheel of death. You might need to restart the stream.
Yeah, I just loaded the stream up in its own separate window. It's working fine on my end.
Let's try going out and back in. No, this is what it stopped for me.
Oh well.
Yeah, there we are. It's come back.
Oh.
Yeah, it could be UK issues. It's back now.
So yeah, this feels like it's a murder planet. Oh, wait. Is it gonna kill Bones? No, it's gonna kill Spock. He's gonna jump in front of it.
Yes, it is what gets hit.
Yeah. Does he die though? Hang on, wait for McCoy. He might just be injured.
That's a very dramatic fall down, Nimoy.
No, McCoy, come on, answer the question. We need to know. Is he
It's
alive or
very
not?
impressive meta, McCoy.
McCoy, is he dead?
Though even McCoy has a completely different level of concern over Spock compared to the crewman.
Yeah, they didn't do anything for... God, I don't even remember his name. Harryford? Headford? I think there was a Ferd
Something
in it.
off.
Dorf? Oh yeah, Dorf. Wait, they completely moved since they cut to Scotty. No, the snake will not allow you to leave. It's my ship now, Jim. I mean, I'm curious to find out why the snake god computer wants them to stay. Because I would think maybe it wants more slaves.
Probably you guys want more worshippers.
Because it would definitely be safer for it if it just let them leave. Oh, no, Spock's fine. He didn't die. Oceans? Is that how people talked in the 60s?
Perhaps McCoy did actually learn, though he did learn what the toxin was, so he possibly knew that it wouldn't affect Vulcans in the same manner.
No, wait. What are the units? Come on, Gene. Why do you keep doing this to us?
Because he never actually came up with an answer.
I do like it when they intersperse like real life footage, like they did with the military planes in the I don't remember what it was called, the time travel episode.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going to get struck by lightning? He's the fact that that red shirt's separated from the rest of the group makes me feel like he's about to die. Oh yeah, he's
Yep,
so
he's
dead.
dead.
Look at him. Excellent. Oh, this is a good episode. We're losing red shirts so fast.
Whenever there's a really large landing party, you know people are dying.
So large they had to beam them down in 2 groups? That's asking for trouble.
Internal consistency with the number of people they can beam down at the time, though.
Don't touch the murder plants. And does he get stabbed by a spear? How does this guy die? Oh, I bet this guy gets sacrificed to the snake god. Rude. You can't just describe people as primitive. No, it's too late, Jim. He's already been captured. There's no
On the
saving
double
him.
reference. Or rather, is this the first time he says on the double?
I think so. This is also the only show that says on the double.
Oh!
Okay. Look, I'm not going to wait for McCoy. He's dead.
Yeah. So if this was a real life and not Star Trek or Mordor thing, he would have no legs.
Yeah.
Hendorf, that's his name.
3 deaths on 1 planet. We still got 2 red shirts left, though. I don't think they're going to kill the woman. I think she's going to be a damsel in distress and they're going to rescue her at the last minute. The dude
Yeah.
might die.
I think we see his end at least in a later episode.
But that doesn't mean that this character doesn't die. I bet what's going to happen is those 2 red shirts are both going to be up for sacrifice. The dude's going to be sacrificed and murdered just before they can save them, and the lady's going to get out. Kirk, do you want to even look? Or just... no? Oh, Marple. That's his name.
So Spock can hear very well or something.
Well, yeah, have you seen his ears? Kirk, why are you punching him? What are you doing, man? You had a phaser. Wait, where did his phaser go? He was holding it a second ago. Kirk, you just punched him. Okay, so now I thought I have a name for this guy. I can look up what actor he is, because I feel like he's been in other episodes. He's Keith Andes, okay. No, no, this is his only episode, never mind.
Hmm.
Maybe I know him from something else. He sounds familiar. So what do we think? Are those just microphones or are they like neural implants? Do they zap him? What do they do?
I don't think they hurt him. I think they are literally transmitting what he can see and hear.
Could we... well, I'm wondering if they could identify the source of it. Because if they can see where where it's coming from, they could use a torpedo. Oh yeah, this Enterprise isn't allowed to land.
Yes, it can't land. Go
I
into
was thinking
atmosphere,
like,
but it
well,
can't land.
I was thinking like, oh, they could just resist a little bit less and just slowly make their way down to the surface. No, we can't do that.
I mean, they could theoretically make it so that they would be pulled slowly through the atmosphere once they get
Yeah.
closer, but they
The
can't land, so they will just crash.
yeah, the issue is even if they landed super gently, they would just like tip over. They don't have landing struts, I don't think. They
Indeed.
just have a cylinder. There he is. There's the paper mache snake god. Wow, this really is a Halloween stream. It's very spooky. I'll bet you there's a laser gonna come out of that eye in a minute. Well, at some point in this episode. Very high order, if you say so, Spock. So Star Trek does that sometimes where whenever a character that was clearly a torpedo sound, but whatever.
Yeah.
Uh whenever characters start like praising shows, it's like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. Only a genius could have come up with that. It's like, yeah, okay, Gene. Giving himself a medal. I mean, at least they're nice, but they're clearly gonna feed people to the snake cave.
Yeah.
If you ever hear a reference to a god being hungry, it's never gonna go well. What others? Wall provides us with birth control. Oh, Scotty, wait, are they actually dating, or is Chekhov just being a creep?
I mean, Chekhov's definitely into her. That's been indicated through the episode, but I don't know other
She
than
was
her reaction
reciprocating a
there.
bit earlier. But then, if they're actually dating, that would mean the woman has to die by the end of this episode to up the dramatic tension. That's okay. These people seem very rude, to be honest.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so what I know about this planet so far. One, they have free and easily distributed birth control because no replacements are necessary, so good healthcare. And two, the housing market is a total non-issue. They just have spare houses lying around. You just get one. Now, there is the downside of you occasionally get sacrificed to a snake god, but free healthcare. Wait, what? Is this saucer separation?
No, it's just jettisoning in the
The
nacelles.
nacelles? But there's only two parts to the ship. There's the saucer and there's the nacelles.
There's the secondary hull below.
Wait, what? No, hang on. That's not how age works. So in the Star Trek universe, they figured out that old age is a result of poor diet
Hello.
and sun damage.
Which would not make any sense even in Star Trek because these characters grow old. If they knew that was the issue, then surely they could just fix that.
Well, they also listed natural predators as a way of people getting old. So the fact that the Klingons exist means Federation members age. Wait, did people just give it fruit and leave? I still vote for torpedoes. We know where this thing is now. We can just bomb it. So how about that weather? Robo, how's the weather?
It's all right. It's kind of chilly. It's supposed to rain.
Nice. So, I need you to weigh in, because we discussed this earlier before you got here. There are two red shirts left alive. We've already killed 3. Do you think that the 2 red shirts remaining are going to be eaten by the snake god?
Hmm. Well,
One is unaccounted for, by the way. We're missing one.
if they both get eaten, it saves special effects budget and having to show them beam back. So from a pure pragmatic standpoint, I think they're gonna kill them off so that they have to do less compositing.
This is also what's happening on this planet. It's exactly the same as Apollo wanted. He was just a meat god instead of a tin god. He just wanted to be able to hang out and eat the grapes. Come on, Scott. Oh, well, okay. So we know Scotty pads his estimates by a factor of 2. It's going to take 4 hours. He's got 6 hours spare. He's fine. There's the lady and there's the dude. And then there's one other red shirt that I assume is dead, but we don't know. He just went missing. Kirk, of course, is entirely unconcerned about that, but whatever. No, Yeoman, we can make someone die. We've got guns. We could test it. Reproduction. Were they not allowed to talk about reproduction in the 60s? You see, when a mommy alien and a daddy alien love each other very much. Oh no, they get that slideshow like the doctor made about it. That was a good slideshow. I'm also wondering if VAL is like an acronym. Valurian Access Library? I don't know.
It's an all-access pass to the cinema.
No, do you remember the plants that murder people? Do you remember that part?
Yes, they are in love with each other.
Of. Yes, it would be very bad. You have to worship a snake god. It's definitely not ideal, Pav. Oh, now they're giving the locals ideas. Clearly a Prime Directive violation.
Well, them coming here like this is would technically fall under the Prime Directive violation, even though it's basically instructed.
Well, wait. What do you mean, dude? What is to be gained from dance?
So my computer did a dead.
Ooh.
There we go. I'm back. Did Captain Kirk have to teach them about the birds and the bees?
No, Spock did.
Oh.
And now these people are learning about hugging and kissing.
What's with the drawings on their faces? Is that what makes them alien? Did they get a really bad spray tan? I think this guy gets his spray tan the same place Donald Trump gets his spray tan in his hairdo.
Oh, Val's not going to be happy about this. His people are straying from the snake path.
Only if they get caught.
Oh, I'm getting a call.
Jesus Christ. Why is that routed through your microphone? That was so loud.
Yeah, I couldn't really adjust the level of it.
Well, just keep your fingers off the Discord soundboard.
I think we need to get some Star Trek sounds for this Discord to use with discretion.
It's Vol who prevented them just getting out of there, so all of this is his fault.
Yeah, if I'll just let them leave and they'll go. It's not that big a deal.
He wants us to take a rock and smash their heads.
Simply place your head down upon this rock. Murder?
What kind of stick is that?
I've noticed them all around the village. I assumed it was like a symbol of Vol, but apparently no, that's just what sticks look like around here.
Probably because they made like a vacuum form mold and they made a bunch of foam copies of the same stick.
Yeah, if you watch around when they're just walking, they're all over the place. I'm not sure this is going to work out for the villagers, though, because, I mean, our crew have guns.
Indeed.
Like, you can probably get behind one of them and smash them real good, but then the others are just going to shoot you.
They're gonna be onto your tricks, you know? You get one, it better be a good one.
Yeah, kill Spock first.
Kill Spock first?
Yeah, Spock's
Do
the
you
most
kill
dangerous
Spock
one here.
first, or do you kill Kirk first? Because
No, Spock, because Kirk will just put down his gun and come at you with his fist, and you can just beat him over the head with the stick.
but he does that. He does the double fist. The double fist hammer. He might build a cannon out of a piece of bamboo and some charcoal.
Or as literally
And a
everybody in
diamond.
all the comments says, a rudimentary lathe.
A rudimentary lathe.
That is a Galaxy Quest reference.
Oh.
Because of course it is. Shoot Vol. Just pull out a... Okay, he did bring his phaser. There have been a couple of scenes where his phaser just seems to disappear between shots, but at least he has it now.
Do you remember in Galaxy Quest when they're going through the smashers and he drops his gun and the gun gets smushed by the smasher and it looks like a bug that got squished, like it has guts. Like what's the deal with that?
Well, it was a Xindi weapon. Xindi weapons are
Even the
powered
Xindi
by
weapon,
bugs.
yeah, by the little maggots. Yeah, I know, but they're still like hard. You know, like they're still. You wouldn't expect one to squish when you
now is
crush
Spock
it.
dead? Wait, Spock just got lightning. Is he dead?
No, he's alright. We've got a partial strike.
I'll see. There's one of those sticks. Now Kirk's blocking it. Wait, that didn't do anything. Is he actually dead, or is he just... You see what I mean about these people? They've got guns, and they're not doing anything with them.
The Duns do have a stun setting.
Well, is he dead? Bones, report in, please. Is that implying that he's dead? I
Yes,
don't...
he's dead.
Because he really didn't get hit that hard.
Very true, but Star Trek.
I'll count it for now. He might
No,
show up
doesn't
later in the episode.
doesn't take a whole lot to kill someone bonk on the head.
He didn't even hit him on the head. He hit him, like, on the shoulder. Vol specifically instructed them to bash the head, and they couldn't even do that. I'm telling you, Scotty, torpedo, just destroy the snake. What are they doing? Are they sneaking? Oh no, it's just a really low door. Okay.
Is that Chekhov? Did I hear Chekhov?
Yeah, he's here.
Yes.
Hmm.
He's been hanging out with his girlfriend this episode.
Was this the episode where they cold start the ship? I wonder. When it's falling? Or is that a different episode?
No, this isn't. That's the one where he disrupts the entire ship, so he has to cold start it as it's falling, I think.
Okay. Now they're following my suggestion. You blast it hard enough, the energy it takes to power the force field is going to get drained, and the ship can escape. It's no big deal. You should have done that an hour ago.
Hey, I'm just curious if anybody knows what happened with the Genesis planet. What was the did it like collapse or
Yeah, it collapsed or something like that. It's no more, regardless.
I don't see anything on Memory Alpha about a definite ending for it, but yeah, it definitely seemed to imply that it was tearing itself apart. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work, Val. Okay, I don't know how long this sequence needs to go on for. I feel like we've pretty much got it.
It's showing it's taking a lot of effort, is what they're trying to do.
Show? Do you want to show us something else?
Vol's clearly overpowered.
Yep, they're still blasting. For sure. Now
Did it
can we...
withstand more than the Telosians?
I don't remember them shooting the Telosians.
They blew up
Yeah,
the...
they shot the elevator thing to break open the door. And then they're like, it's not working, it's not doing it, but it
Oh,
did.
I
It
was
just like
thinking
sheared
about
the whole.
I was thinking about those energy people who didn't care that they were being conquered.
Potency returning?
Yeah, don't worry about that. It doesn't mean anything. Just accept it.
Potency returning to antimatter pods.
Vol was somehow rendering the antimatter inert.
Oh, okay. Now you'll have to learn how to farm and work.
Frankly, I'm just surprised they didn't walk into the cave and, like, logic the computer to death. I was
These
really
people
expecting to
were
see that same computer prop.
these people got to like live in eternal childhood, and then Kirk showed up and just ruined the whole thing for them. Like, you just be carefree, run around naked all day, do whatever you want. This guy shows up, he's like, screw all that. You're gonna have to work
Well,
and pay taxes now.
Is
Well,
that
hang
400
on.
people gonna die?
They couldn't do whatever they wanted. They could only do the very few things that Vol approved of, which is
But
basically
they
just
didn't
sit
know
around
they wanted to do anything
talking.
else. They didn't know what they were missing. But it seemed like they were pretty happy. Now you gotta work for a living, kid. Growing up is a
Also,
scam.
we never addressed what happened to that crewman who went missing. That one they lost contact with at the start of the episode, we never saw them again.
They write him off. Too much paperwork.
The Apple, that's the name of the episode.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, come on, Kirk.
Gene, what are you doing,
Gene.
man?
It's just a little casual racism. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that happens a lot in this show. There's a lot of racism against Vulcans. Also, though, what's wrong with being compared to Satan? Satan was a cool guy. He was pretty chill.
Yeah.
As I
He just
recall
wanted
from the
people
Bible,
to
Satan
know the
didn't really
truth.
do anything to anybody. His only crime was just not being chill with God.
There was the Monty Python has a
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's from was it from was it Life of something? Life of Brian?
Yeah.
Where the guy explains he's telling him, he's like, well, why'd you get thrown? He's like, how about this? Stand on this thing, get down, stand on this thing, get down, do this, do that. And he's like, I don't want to do that. So that's what I said. It's like, I just didn't want to.
Yeah. In the Bible, there's literally no attempt from God to bring Satan back towards God. Just leave Satan alone to do his thing.
Did Satan ever kill anybody in the Bible?
If he did, there was the flood, so God's got him beat by like 1 million or 2.
And I just looked it up. Satan killed about 10 people. Which, uncool. What is cool is pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. On the Doomsday machine, I guess I should have said.
Yep.
Yes.
But God literally flooded the earth and killed everybody in the Bible, and that was roughly 2 million people. So, you know,
Interesting change of
statistics.
music.
Okay, well, here's a follow up question. Would Satan need a starship?
What does God need with us? Wait, no.
No, that was right. What does God need with a starship?
Yeah. But I was doing it in Bones' voice, not Kirk's voice. What does God need with a starship? You don't ask Almighty for his ID, Jim.
The clocks have gone backwards in the UK, so it's an hour earlier for us.
Oh man, everything's weird in the UK. Clocks go backwards. They call the hood the bonnet, the trunk the boot, the truck's a lorry,
Sensible
trash
countries
can is a
won't set their
bin.
clocks back for another week.
They drive on the wrong side of the road.
We drive on the
So
on the correct side of the road.
no, you
Your
drive
side of the
on the
road is
wrong
based on
side of
like
the road.
horses and swords,
Yeah,
dude. Come on.
and there's no need to change it. Don't know why you changed it.
Well, so's ours. That's why the driver. So our driving position affords you a better view down the road, and yours is just a complete opposite of that.
No, I do see
And then
better view of the
most,
cars and the. There's no difference. If we sit on the right hand side, you sit on the left hand side of your car. So there's literally no difference.
and then you drive on the left side of the road. And I'm not disagreeing with your point. I'm just saying it's wrong.
There isn't any. There is actually no difference between them.
Well, the
It's
difference
just
between them is one of them is correct.
convention. Yeah,
Right.
it's the British one because that's the original.
There's like 2 countries that do
Look,
it your
so
way, or 3 countries do it
saying
your way, and
that's the
every other
way it's
country does it
always
our
been
way.
done is
Yeah,
not
like,
a
why
valid
would you need to
Doesn't make
change
it right.
it? There's no There's no actual difference between the two, so it's whatever.
Um, so by where I live, they reworked these overpasses and these interchanges where you get off of the freeway or highway onto the service streets, and they they flip flop to the traffic direction for some reason where it's at. So like they have like it's like the thing on a slot car track where the cars change lanes. The eastbound traffic and the westbound traffic change sides while they go under the overpass, and then after the overpass they go back. And I'm like, what is the point of this? Why do they do this? It's just to make it easier for cars getting on and off the expressway. There's fewer lights, I guess. I don't know, but it's like old people are gonna get confused and they're gonna be going against traffic. I guarantee it.
Let's do that anyway.
It's true. I've seen them do it anyway. But this makes it way easier for
Here's the
that to
real
happen.
reason why driving on the right side is superior. It's because naturally, in America, you sit on the left of the car, great. So you can access all the functions of the car, your stick shift, your radio, all
Your
that
right
stuff with
hand,
your
yeah.
dominant right hand. While keeping
So
one
all the
hand on the
left-handed
wheel.
people should move to the UK, and all the right-handed people should move to the US.
Yes.
The UK or Australia or Japan, where they drive on the right-hand side of the car.
Yes, all the older nations.
Left-handed people don't
Older
exist.
nations.
Well, Japan and Britain are both way older than America.
I do like the factoid of, what was it, Oxford being older than the Mayan Empire?
Right.
Hmm.
The Mayan ruins aren't all that old. They're like 600 years old or something. Or less.
Wait, hang on, who's this lady? Where's Uhura? Where did she go? Was Nichelle not available?
Yeah, the character's just busy, it's sleeping or off shift.
Maybe she had the stomach flu.
Don't do that. So yeah,
Don't do what? Breathe? Cough?
yeah, exactly. In the original Star Trek, before we got the remaster, did we ever see any ships that weren't Constitution class? Starfleet ships specifically. I think they had Tushin
Did we
models
see? Did we see any ships that weren't Constitution class?
that were
You know,
Starfleet
I
ships.
think I don't think so. I can't think of any other than you. We had the Botany Bay model, we had the Constitution, we had the Katinga, we had the Cricket, the Romulan warbird prototype. I don't know. Originally or in the remaster, because I imagine the remaster they might have
Originally.
gone in
I
and
think the remaster swapped some models.
yeah, another reason not to use the remaster.
An interesting three-way ladder so more people can move at once.
Ladders in my
So
space future.
does anybody have a hot air soldering station?
No, but real quick, that ladder type right there, well, stairs kind of ladder, that's the same type they use in the NX-01 engineering room.
Well, the NX-01 had
Good
some
thing
accessibility. It had a lift.
our
It had a lift
spheres are
and a ladder.
broken. It
But the
had a very
lift,
dangerous lift with the finger cutters.
seriously, and
Yes.
when he pointed it out, they laughed at him. What's the deal? That was a perfectly
That
valid
was
concern.
so dangerous. So dangerous. Um I saw like a safety video. It had all these different examples of different industrial accidents, and that exact thing happened. This guy grabbed onto this big turning disc. He was holding onto it, onto the edges, and then it goes into a thing where it's basically a shear edge. It subducts into a surface, and it sliced all his fingers off. And it's like, why would you hold on to it? One, but why are you allowed to get that close?
With the
Did you see
elevator,
Total
it was
Recall?
you're not allowed to put your hands on the rail that surrounds the
Yeah, but
elevator. Why?
what's the safety interlock that prevents it from moving while you're doing that? Nothing.
Safety interlocks in my Star Trek. So how long has Matt been here? Because he's grown his beard a bit. Has he just been slumped over his desk for like 3 days?
For a little bit.
Come on, Matt. At least follow, going back to the NX-01, follow Malcolm Reed's example. An officer is always at his best when he's well groomed. It was a cone. Maybe we should have a ship's counselor. Maybe we should have someone they can talk to.
Masada.
Matt, do you maybe want to leave to report that solar systems are being destroyed before you go back in? Maybe mention it? Send a buoy, a shuttle, something?
Hmm.
Why couldn't you run, Matt? From what we see of the Planet Killer, it doesn't seem like it actually chases anybody. It's just doing its thing.
It's eating. It powers itself from destroying other things.
Yeah, it's a crystalline entity for rocks. I'm always confused about their description of it because it doesn't look particularly sinister. It's just a cone.
Hmm.
Like freaking out about what it did,
Oh,
sure. But everyone thinks it
this is the
looks really
Doomsday
scary.
machine. Huh. So does everybody have their Halloween costumes?
I do, yes.
Oh, what are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be going into work as Weekend Ryan with my sweater.
Huh.
What about you? Are you going to be spooky?
Um, every year I kind of contemplate doing Michael Myers as
You
a
mean
costume because
Bill
it's pretty
Shatner?
easy. Yeah, just a Michael Myers mask and a mechanic's jumpsuit, blue gray mechanic's jumpsuit.
Back in the old days when I was a teenager, my favorite costume was being the scariest thing of all, a youth.
A youth,
A ute,
a
if
youth.
you will.
My cousin Vinny, best movie.
It was alright.
It was really good. Come on.
Okay. The parts in the courtroom are really good, the rest of it, eh.
How do you like your grits? Regular, creamy, or al dente? Oh, regular, I guess.
Creamy
Huh.
grits? What does that mean? Like,
Were these instant grits? No self-respecting Southerner uses instant grits. I take pride in my grits.
and
Hey,
I've
can
never
you
actually looked
explain
it
to
up.
me why
No,
it
yes.
takes you 5 minutes to cook your grits when it takes the rest of the grit-loving world 20 minutes?
I'm just trying to
I'm
look up
I'm
what grits are, man. It just says
I'm a
grits.
fast cook, I guess. You're a fast cook. That's it. Are we to believe that the
No,
laws of
yes,
physics
no,
cease to?
that is enough. My cousin Vinny direct quoting. Thank you.
I have the whole
I just
movie
need someone
committed
to
to
tell me
memory.
what grits are, because every time I look up like a
It's
recipe
made out
for
of
grits, it
corn.
just says grits.
It's ground up corn.
To make grits, first start with 1.5 cups grits. It's like, what is the? What do you mean?
Yeah, it comes in a bag or a box.
So people got
Grits
angry
are
at
made with
Discovery for
whole
doing
dried
basically this
corn
plot.
kernels from dent corn. Traditionally, grits are made either by using stone ground or steel roller
So yeah,
mills
it's
in
just ground up
manufacturing.
corn.
Yeah, it's just ground up corn.
Doesn't sound great, to be honest. It sounds like something you would make in the Great Depression because there's nothing else.
Right.
So yeah, the trouble things about this is that Discovery basically this plot of people got angry about it, and then in Star Trek Online at least, the Romulans then start using these Doomsday machines.
Where did they get one?
I don't remember the top of my head, but they do use them. I think actually they manufactured them.
One thing, I'm not sure if I like it or hate it about the non-remastered version of this. The destroyed model of the Constitution class is clearly just they made a model and then took like a blowtorch to it. So the nacelles and the plastic are all melted.
They
Hmm.
had to get a toy. because the filming model was gigantic and it was
Yeah, there's
wood.
no way they.
And it only had one side, by the way. The primary hall or secondary hall had no other side.
You see, that doesn't look scary to me. It's just a
It looks
cone.
like a poo. It looks like a
No,
poo.
it it looks like a nematode or some kind of parasite, um, basically.
Mm,
It's a very
parasite.
rough surface as well.
Well, it's made of neutronium.
It's been around a long time and it's just all beat up.
You know, Discovery wasn't so outrageous when it created that 10,000-year-old being, 100,000-year-old being.
Oh, you mean like Gomtu?
Yeah,
So remember the space baby in GOM 2. There's quite a
Wonder.
few space faring
Wait, could you be more
entities. The
specific
crystalline
about Space Baby?
entity,
Because we get those a lot.
Space Baby, the one that attached itself to the
Oh, the
Enterprise, and then they
Ravioli
had to
Baby.
sour the milk. Yeah, ravioli creature. And then there
Because
was
when you say Space Baby,
the
I think Clint Howard.
and then there was the pitcher fish or the what you call it, lantern fish or whatever it's called in the
The
Delta
telepathic
Quadrant.
pitcher plant from Voyager?
Yeah. What else?
I'm going to be honest, that was a pretty minor hit for something that eats planets.
Yeah,
I am
actually,
shocked the
Starting off
Enterprise is still
slow.
here.
I feel like this becomes the thing in Star Trek, the motion picture, because basically it's like, to the exponential power, there's no way to stop it. This was even before we had a Death Star.
Well,
Because
I have a plan that I think would work. Just leave.
we usually no, but isn't it like headed towards Earth or something?
No? It's not doing anything. Well, I mean, it's doing something, but not to the Federation.
Yeah, we should just leave it alone. But almost the entire plot of was it Discovery season 3, season 4, where they have the season 3, where they have the beings that don't communicate, but they're scooping up entire planets for just resources.
Tasty,
can't-
tasty planets.
We need that.
They should
We
just
need
have Galactus. I'm disappointed that we didn't have a Galactus fight. Oh, no, I guess we did have a Galactus fight. Well, we had the Silver Surfer. We must have had a Galactus fight in the Fantastic Four movies, didn't we? But we couldn't have a proper one because at the time, Marvel properties were all piecemealed out, and they still kind of are. So we couldn't have like Jean Grey Phoenix fighting Galactus.
None of those words mean anything to me.
I think I know what you're saying.
In the dark days when Marvel was about to go bankrupt, they sold off the
Spider-Man
rights to some
went to
Spider-Man,
Sony.
Fantastic Four, and X-Men to Fox,
Yeah,
and they
that's why the
kept everything
reboot
else.
was significant. Sorry, go ahead.
And then when they started their own movie studio with Iron Man, and it picked up, they couldn't use any of those properties. They couldn't use Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, or X-Men. That's why when they were talking about mutants, they were saying abhumans. They couldn't say the word mutant.
So, okay, it's not
so
heading to Earth, but it is actually heading to Rigel now. Finally.
Oh, Rigel is like a Federation founding
Rigel.
member.
Well, the thing about Rigel is the writers keep using the word Rigel.
Yeah.
So now there's like 30 different species that supposedly originate from there.
That's true.
They keep calling
Rigelian.
people Rigelians.
Yeah, it's just a catch-all phrase for like some planet.
Maybe they're like Zindi, and maybe there's like 6 or 7 races on the planet.
Rigel, I believe, is also the planet with the memory erasing rocks from Strange New Worlds and the cage. Rigel 7. No, see, this is fine because Star Trek 2009 established you can relieve anyone of duty if you believe they're emotionally compromised, and Matt here is clearly emotionally compromised.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, more accurately is that the Doctor and second in command have the ability to do so.
Yeah, but you know, I was just watching a TNG Allegiance where Picard has the imposter in season 3, and you know, it's basically like the president. If the entire cabinet says the president is acting in a way that endangers the ship, then we can remove him from office.
What?
The ship comes first.
Did you do this, Spike?
Like Worf mutinies and Riker mutinies against Picard, even though there's nothing on paper they can report.
When Picard is bringing them close to the star that's going to kill everybody,
Yeah,
I think that's pretty significant.
you know, but you've never questioned orders before.
I question orders all the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying Riker and Geordi and Worf.
And yeah, it's really unusual for Picard to order them to put the ship in such immediate danger for no apparent reason. So they're like, "Yeah, this is weird. You're not acting normal, so
Right. You're out of office.
you're out of office. We won't need to vote you out of office."
This Commodore is also out of control.
Yeah.
In TOS and in early TNG, they don't really know what to do about captains or admirals that have gone crazy. Because
Yeah.
the example I always cite is TNG Season 1, where Picard literally admits he's being possessed by an alien, and the rest of the crew is like, well, we can't do anything about it. He's the captain. I guess we're just screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just use phaser on man.
We're rewriting all of that. Even TNG rewrites that later on.
Maybe that's not canon anymore. Maybe we just ignore it.
I think it was only like in 1945 or so the 27th Amendment was passed, which basically allows the presidents to be removed by like the cabinet, basically, because you got to figure out a
Look,
way.
the way you do it is like so much. You just shoot him.
For the
Oh yeah, I'm
good
the
of
one
the
that said use gun on man.
for the good of the Republic. You just have to remove him from office. You don't have to kill the guy. But
No,
yeah, I
see,
mean,
the thing is, they're too dangerous to be left alive.
you're right.
Okay.
He has the nuclear codes, so you really do need to shoot him.
You can't. Well, they don't have them. Like they don't have them memorized.
Yeah, no, but
They
what I'm
do.
saying,
They,
though, if he
they
runs
give it
away
to
and
him on a
tries
post-it
to,
note when he gets elected. Here you go.
if he tries to run away from the coup and establish his own base, or
Mhm.
she, yeah. So the Yorktown is destroyed. Sister ship, model ship.
So, does anybody have experience with building custom PCBs?
I built my own computer when I was 16.
No, that's not.
Custom, not the same thing.
What is that? The silicone board thing, the green thing, the thing that
Personal computer bombs.
PCB is
Like really sketchy power supplies.
printed circuit board.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's what you put this, what you solder the silicone on.
No,
That's what Kirk's doing right now.
I think you might have a
That's
bad time if
really
you solder
stupid.
silicone.
I mean, it's an easy way to fix like a burnt out, Thunderbolt.
No, silicone is different than silicon, though.
Sorry,
Yeah, that was my point.
70. I got a 76 on my chemistry regents. I'm just not. Chemistry's not my thing. Sorry.
Oh, there was a hilarious. So I don't know why I get this stuff in my YouTube feed, but I'll get these YouTube videos and clips. And I don't know what podcast or what show it is, but they'll often have these guys on that are talking complete nonsense. and they have this guy on there that looks like a crazy hobo, and he's like, I saw this machine that they put on an engine, and when they turned the engine on, it ran with like perfect efficiency, and the only thing that came out of the exhaust was pure oxygen. And I'm like, you're a moron. That's not how combustion works, and pure oxygen would also be extremely corrosive and flammable. Like, that's not how anything works.
So
And the
unrelated,
guy,
but related to Star Trek, which is, I'm not sure about Commodore Decker's strategy here, where sure he wants to blow it up and fire at point blank range, but he's flying directly into the weapon part of it. Maybe come at it from the side.
Mhm.
maybe the sides and the tail is too dense.
Well, at the moment they're firing on the outside of it.
But when they were actually approaching it, it was just straight on. That's
Yeah.
so dangerous.
No, it didn't bounce off. It was absorbed by the CGI.
Yeah, the remastered version of the phasers here aren't even that much better, but in the original, it's just like orange rectangles that just appear on screen for a few frames.
Right, it's a frozen frame, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
frozen frame, and they put a sound effect over it.
amazing. Yeah, so I just want to say Star Trek had a planet killer before Star Wars. Star Wars has nothing on Star Trek. And I say nothing.
I don't know, I feel like Star Wars has some things over Star Trek, like a good first movie.
We had a brilliant first movie. It's just 3 hours long. Too much brilliance. Like, did you watch 2001 A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah, it took forever and nothing happened.
And what is the point of that film? I still have yet to understand. I think something to do with the obelisk guiding our history. But like, why is it
Something
on the
about
moon?
humans reaching the next stage of evolution because there was,
Yeah, a baby, a space
and
baby.
then there's the acid trip at the end, which is like being unable to comprehend.
And then on the moon, we discover an obelisk, and we're like, whoa, what don't we know? That chimp scene was also ridiculous. I don't think any movie ever had actors descend to the level of chimps like that. You really think they were like primates, like that grunted for communication?
So yeah, this is the exact same justification they use in that TNG episode, which is they only mutiny a bit once he's actually committing suicide by ship. Right, they bring it right to the brink of destruction, and then they do something about it.
I feel like it's just all about CYA, and
Yeah.
I would be like, at the first sign of the captain being wonky, it's like, no, you're done.
Like, in that episode, he has a date with Beverly, and she feels like, I feel like you're playing with me, like playing games with me, like emotionally, because he's just like, she says no, and then he asks her to dance and all that, and that's totally not like him.
It looked like they were making out, and she's like, oh, this is we're, and he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's hit the brakes. And she's like, what?
Right.
You got me all revved up for nothing? The
But
hell, Jean-Luc? What
so
the
that's what I'm
hell?
saying. So you'd report the captain just for like having a missed date, you know?
A bad date?
Yeah. With Beverly.
Is that a bad date?
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like there's no
He-
until you have something on paper that you can remove him from.
In
Man,
this episode specifically,
Mhm.
when Bones tried to relieve him of command, one, it should have worked.
Yeah.
But even if he was required to produce medical records, he could have like forced him to report to examination.
I'm pretty sure that McCoy literally does that to Turk later on in the series.
Okay, so I feel like this is what we're missing. This is really Moby Dick, right? So Ahab has to go hunt his whale, and that's why this guy looks like a hobo. Like at least in the TNG episode,
Rude.
they didn't have that guy looking like a hobo.
They didn't have him looking like a hobo?
The imposter Picard.
What, a dude doesn't shave for 3 days and all of a sudden he's just hideous? Is that what you're saying?
He looks like a hobo. He looks like a hobo because he was marooned on a ship.
you just earned your pay for the week, stop.
What pay? Your $0 pay, Scotty? Your 122,200. What?
You know, the Nagilum episode.
Wait, what is that maneuver the Enterprise just did?
It was the get sucked in there and then swim out like a goldfish in a
That
toilet
looked
bowl.
more like
That wasn't the
they
Enterprise.
were
That was
having
the
some trouble with the wires maneuver.
Yorktown.
Well, it was remastered that way, so
Yeah, but the remaster
No, that was original model.
No, that's remaster. But in the
Oh.
in the remaster, they preserved all the weird dangling wire effects. They just put new models on it.
Yeah. Marionette puppeteer stuff. That was a big art back then.
huh.
Robo, I just want to say you're the one who used the expression looking like a hobo. So now you're like correcting me for using this.
They're
image.
creating carpool lanes on the highways here, and it's a mistake. Nobody carpools here.
Well, maybe you should start.
It's not. We don't. Our population sprawl is too much to make that viable. Just because it works in like population dense places like Southern California, it doesn't mean it works here.
The
Where
government
do you
needs
live? Bloody
revenues.
rural Nebraska.
The government needs revenue, so motorists they don't vote as a block. So you can pass all the tolls you want on motorists. We're passing congestion pricing for Manhattan. So if you want to come into the main city, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., you have to pay like $20.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen is these politicians who made this decision are going to get screwed in the next election because nobody is liking this.
Spock did acquiesce to the
Spock,
Commodore's.
pinch him.
Oh, I wanted to say in the Nagilum episode, we see the USS Yamato, which is the sister ship to the Enterprise D, and it looks a lot like it, just like Kirk's in the same engine room.
Wait, are you saying you were surprised that the Yamato looks very similar to the Enterprise D?
It was just very freaky because I think like they mirrored it, right? Because they have to do the left side of the screen, right side of the screen, so you know which ship you're on. And plus, yeah, I was surprised because I was a kid back then. It was like, oh snap!
Just pinch his neck. It's done.
Do it, Spock.
There we
See,
go.
You don't need a medical officer.
Jesus Christ. You don't need to recognize authority.
Nobody on this
You can
bridge
just...
recognizes your authority. They just ignore him. No,
Spock, kill him.
No.
Do it.
I like those
No,
isolated.
hang
Commodore
on,
is needed for another task this episode.
Do the 400-something people who beam down to the planet count as away team deaths?
Yes.
Because
Very,
I don't
very,
know.
yeah.
That
That is a
might
yeah.
somewhat
Muddy the water.
a little bit.
I
We
guess
are
we're
going to
just
get an away
counting
team
like
death this episode.
solitary deaths. We're not counting like mass slaughter.
Okay, so if it's a statistic, it doesn't count.
Right. We're talking about, red shirts with names like
Shown
Lieutenant
deaths.
LaSalle. Yeah.
DeSalle? You mean Assistant Chief Engineer Lieutenant DeSalle?
No, I'm just saying
From
like
next episode?
Yeah, and he was in the Trelane episode too. But the way I realized Trelane is in a future episode too. The actor who plays Trelane, he plays in another Q kind of species. Orthogonians. Did you guys like I love the prior episode. I want to say I'm so sorry that I missed it because I was being a student of religion my whole life. Vol and the idea that we just do like how long these traditions last and people don't question them. It's very interesting.
What are these fights? Where do they learn how to fight?
I don't know.
It-
Why isn't the security guard armed?
He was.
He
the
was. He dropped it.
tasers
It's in the
were knocked
corner.
off. He didn't drop it. It got knocked out of his
Why
hand.
doesn't he go grab it while Commodore Decker's on the ground?
No. Well, Soma, I feel like that's just semantics because whether you just let go of it or someone hits it and it comes out of your hand, you've dropped it.
But dropped it sounds like incompetence. Having it knocked out of your hand because that's a reasonable
I'm
It's still
happy calling
incompetence
this
because
guy
you
incompetent.
didn't maintain control. You didn't have a lanyard attached to your sidearm. That's still incompetence.
He could have at least had like a Wii remote strap. I mean,
Yeah,
come
that's a
on.
lanyard.
Yeah, that's not his fault. That's Starfleet's.
Yeah, he wasn't issued a lanyard. I'm not buying that from the commissary. They should provide that to me.
Or one of those like bungee cords you attach to your keys.
That they
I mean,
literally have that in real life.
Okay, we do that for
handguns.
rifles, but we don't do that for handguns in real life.
Yes. I have multiple combat handguns that have lanyard loops and lanyards. I will send you a picture.
Soma wouldn't know. He's British. Guns don't exist over there.
This is
It's not a common practice. I wouldn't have said it. So.
perfect. Here's a perfect picture. Here you go. Where are you, Soma?
Just put it in the general chat so the whole class can see.
Oh, okay, sure.
We're doxing Soma.
Sure, whatever.
Okay.
No, we're just sharing what a handgun lanyard looks like.
Okay.
And you attach it to your wrist or your belt.
Man, everybody steals a
Sue,
shell.
why isn't that your default action?
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
Why do you have to
Well-
wait for him to tell you?
You really shouldn't have any kind of shuttle launches without bridge clearance first.
I wonder who it could be.
Was it our pal, our psycho pal?
Moby Dick is one of the greatest books of all time.
Maybe it's Uhura. That's why she hasn't shown up this episode.
He's like, I'm gonna go back to my ship where I'm in command. Screw you guys.
This thing is pretty pernicious. I think like having a mission to destroy something this evil is kind of like important. Someone's
it's not
gotta...
evil. It's just feeding.
Yeah, it's true. It's what is it? It's like
It's devouring millions of cuttlefish as it roams the oceans.
I remember when I was a kid, we had to like bait these worms to go fishing because I lived out by the ocean.
Why would you open the windows when you're going to attempt that thing?
Well, he wants to see it.
And there was a worm that had these pincers for teeth, and you had to like hook it through the mouth. And I never enjoyed that part, but the fisherman did it just fine. But that's what that worm looks like. Just something that's very not intelligent. Just a feeding machine. I remember Patrick Stewart was in a Moby Dick rendition for TV, and it was a good like.
He was the whale.
Is he bringing a shuttle to the constellation, and then Kirk can get on the
he's
shuttle?
just going to fly right into the maw, and once again approaching it right in the weapon path, instead of from the side.
They were.
I don't know if that's true. We're probably stronger without him, actually.
They were junior officers together, right? During the Klingon Wars and all that. Kirk has a lot of respect for this guy. That's the only reason why he got away for this for so long. I guess for once I'm glad for the upgrade, because this must have been terrible without SFX.
Wait, I think we're about to get a bunch of really flashy lights. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's gonna freak out.
Like,
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
This is the LSD trip.
Gene Roddenberry murdering people with epilepsy. Good.
So what are you having for dinner, Ryan?
What do you mean?
What are you gonna have for dinner?
Why are you asking?
I'm just curious.
I'll have you know, dinner is a very private matter.
Oh, okay.
I don't know yet.
I'm not subtly trying to influence your subconscious.
Mm-hmm. I saw that coming. Um,
I'm not getting Taco Bell.
I was gonna ask you not
I
to
bought the
mention
Taco
Taco Bell.
Pass for $10, and I've been
Yeah,
having
I'm
Taco
sure
Bell
you
every
did.
day.
Mhm. Can we get a moment of silence for Commodore? What's his name?
Nah, screw him.
Does he
He
count as an
deserved
away
it.
team death?
Yes,
Thank you.
in my mind.
He is. He went on an away team. Self-assigned away team. See, that's the thing, right? He wasn't a bad leader. He was just obsessive. You know, you got to check yourself before you.
Oh, he lost 400 troops for it, so it's a reasonable state of
Um,
mind. But even if it's not good,
Mm. It almost reminds me of Captain Maxwell, right? Because he was also like on a rampage. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, can you slow your roll before you like genocide your way through the neutral zone? Oh, the constellation. It wasn't the Yorktown. The Yorktown
Yes,
comes
a
later.
constellation. Which later we do get a constellation class, which looks nothing like this, but that's fine.
That's the Enterprise C, right?
No, constellation class was was it the Stargazer? I think the
Right,
Stargazer was
right,
constellation.
right. Thank you.
The Enterprise C was ambassador class.
Right. Megatons.
That's not shit in Star Trek universe.
I mean, mega means 1,000, right? So,
Mega means million,
oh, okay.
and we have 100 megaton nuclear bombs now, and you know,
Nuclear.
Yeah, but see, this was the 60s. They hadn't even
Thermonuclear.
thought of nuclear bombs yet.
Did we have thermonuclear bombs in the 60s? Let's find out. Hold on. When was the
Well, we definitely had some kind of nuclear
thermonuclear?
bombs.
We had atomic bombs, fission bombs, but thermonuclear bombs they use a fission bomb as a detonator to cause a fusion reaction,
Right.
a fusion bomb. Nuclear
no, we didn't have thermonuclear bombs.
invented.
We
Let
don't
me
have
find out when.
fusion bombs at all.
1952. 1950. What do you mean we don't have thermonuclear bombs? Are fusion bombs? You have
He didn't challenge that part.
tritium
Nobody-
or a helium isotope, and you have a fission bomb as a detonator. So the fission bomb goes off and it generates so much energy it initiates a fusion reaction, and the fusion bomb.
Yes, sorry, you mean a hydrogen bomb? Yes.
Which is a
That's
fusion bomb.
That's a fusion bomb.
Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, so
Big
basically,
boom.
though, you know,
big boom.
I mean, I remember watching Truman's announcement of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, and he
Wow,
said that
how old are
basically.
you? Jesus.
No, I watched it because I had a CD-ROM encyclopedia, and so very
Was it Encarta 95
yeah,
or
or
98?
there was another Compton's though from Britain. Oh, Grolier was the brand. So the thing is that Truman said that it was the equivalent of 50,000 kilotons of TNT. So people are still.
That was the Hiroshima. Yeah.
But if I'll finish my point though, so people were still thinking in terms of tons of TNT. So when you talk about like megatons and stuff, it's just all too abstract to people back then.
I think a 100 megaton bomb would have a destructive radius of, would it be like 100 kilometers or 100 miles? I know it's
Well, against
roughly
neutronium, it would be 0 miles.
Maybe neutronium punctures easily like aluminum, and just
This whole series is, especially this season, is probably why TNG has multiple transporter rooms.
33 kilometer radius.
How come in this
So-
episode they never tried disjoin it with the deflector dish?
with a deflector beam, like
Yeah, they
like
should
in
have channeled the
Best of
phaser.
Both
The
There
deflector
was
Worlds.
a
always
deflector.
works.
Yeah, they should have involved the deflector somehow.
I guess because right now deflectors just means the shields.
Like in TNG All Good Things, the deflector is what emits the tachyon beam. You know, you
I want to
modify the
recreate that.
Okay.
I want to recreate that tunnel in my house.
The tachyon beam?
No, the tunnel they always shoot.
The
They always
electrical
film
beam.
Scotty in when he's doing things.
A Jeffries
yeah.
tube.
And they recreated it on. Is it? I don't even think it's called a Jeffries tube yet. They recreated it on Strange New Worlds.
It looks like Andor too. Well, anyway, it's a vertical pipe.
Oh, the vertical Jeffries tube.
Yeah.
It's a slant. When we saw him get out of it, it was clearly.
Yeah, it's so we can
45.
angle the camera down and look at all the technological.
See, look at that wire movement. You can see it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was deliberate for the remaster.
Has UK caught on to Halloween yet, or what?
What do we mean have we caught on to Halloween? It's been
Have you heard of it? It's this new thing
longer
we're
than my
trying.
lifespan.
Halloween comes from the Catholic holiday All Hallows Eve. So
Which is
had
a
it
pagan
before.
holiday that they co-opted to help bring
Yeah,
people
that's
into
all
Christianity.
Catholic holidays, man.
All Saints Day. And that's there's nothing that's it. But
Christmas.
they had it before we were
Easter.
they had it before we were a country though. All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, but like the United States does it more than anybody else, you know what I mean?
Commercialize it.
Well, you see, the thing about Halloween is we can make so much profit off it.
Yeah.
Think of
Who
how much
doesn't
money
love-
you can make if you get people to buy all that candy. And with the
And-
decorations, oh, it's perfect.
And slutty
Costumes.
Well,
costumes.
no, it's about the diabetes medication.
Thanks for the back
Years
seat
down the
repairing,
road.
Mr. Spock. It's not very helpful. I am the chief engineer of the Enterprise.
Yeah, so Kirk is gonna die here.
Ceases to exist.
So we'd have lost Commodore Crazy and Captain Kirk to the Doomsday Machine.
You know, I can't help but notice they were 3 seconds away from detonation, and then we had a 10-second exterior shot
Yeah,
where nothing happened.
the hull is like heating up. So Kirk really
Yeah,
died.
why is this transporter blue now?
Because of the blue pop.
They use blue
That's
sparkles.
good relief acting, actually.
Is this Captain Kirk's adventure jacket? Like Picard had the adventure jacket?
I don't know, but I'm thinking if you had multiple Kirks, that would be the correct plural. Captain's Kirk.
Captain's Kirk. The Captain's Kirk. You could have, if it wasn't for Sam getting killed like a bitch.
I remember watching a commentary on TOS and like the meaning of Star Trek on YouTube, and
The meaning of Star Trek. What do you mean the meaning of Star Trek? The meaning of Star Trek is sell a TV show and make money.
Yeah. But there's certain motifs, right? So it plays on Western motifs. It plays on. There's a lot of Western elements to this show. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's a
So-
space western.
Right, and even the music, by the way, comes from the American tradition of Western music, which was going out west in the pioneer era. So,
Oh,
one of the things-
H-bomb. He just referenced
Yeah.
the fusion bomb.
Oh,
We
okay.
know it has to exist.
Yeah, I said it was invented in 1952. So
Yeah, and Gene Roddenberry is
Yeah.
apparently aware of that.
So,
he was a naval officer.
one of the things that's always present in Star Trek is that basically you're on a submarine, because it sucks to get shot by a U-boat or and then get killed by another submarine. So and then there's always the fear of mutiny. So this episode addresses that. Like we're always afraid that like basically 10 officers can gang up on the captain and say, "You're not the captain anymore."
All right, so last episode today is Catspaw, which is the Halloween episode. It's like the
I
one
hope-
holiday episode we get at all in Star Trek. We don't really have a Christmas episode. We don't really have an Easter episode. We don't really have a pagan solstice episode. We have a Halloween one.
Generations is a Christmas movie.
True.
We get the one scene at
Hey!
Christmas.
ET Studios. Long time no see.
The TNG
It must
movies
be
were
done.
generally released around Christmas time. Like they weren't really summer blockbusters, so they were always like for the family holiday season,
Oh
is-
shoot.
which is a mistake actually.
Well, Generations features a Christmas tree, therefore Christmas movie.
I mean, the TOS show also makes reference to a Christmas party, but it wasn't a Christmas episode.
Well, Generations, he gets the best Christmas present ever. He gets the whole Picard estate to himself.
The best present is pressing play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
You know, Captain Picard
Why is this planet black and white?
on the ship, he acts so awkward around children, and then when he goes to visit home, he treats his little nephew. Yeah, he acts like a normal dude around a kid.
No.
But
He accuses his nephew of being a robber, a highwayman. He assumes he's a thief.
you get my
It's a
point.
monster.
So what's the deal? What's the deal with him being such
No.
a
Who is that?
curmudgeon on board the ship?
I think you know what.
He's a curmudgeon at work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when the whole time when he sang with his crewmates on 10 Forward in that Allegiance episode I was talking about, like that's how they knew something was wrong. Like why is he
Come
being
cheer up, my
expressed?
lads.
No,
Right. So
don't you dare cheer up my lads.
On the
so
double
thing is
again.
that's how they know
All
something's
my
wrong.
lads need
He's
to be
always
depressed.
emotionally aloof or distant from his colleagues.
He doesn't know how to be friendly with people in
wants
the
to-
context of work and being
Duty.
professional.
Duty.
He wants to maintain professional distance because
Wait,
if he's
stand by for
attached to
death.
individual officers, he might not be able to order them to their death.
Right.
And that's why he transfers the girl that he
He
gets a
can't-
crush on.
He can't even get married. I mean, Janeway too. She couldn't really get married or have a relationship.
Plus
Well-
one death. Never mind the fact I can see his eyes moving. He's dead.
He almost did with the
How is he away team?
hologram.
He's not the away team.
A curse
Huh?
on the ship.
A curse
Very
on both
spooky.
your houses.
No kidding, it is.
A curse on
Very
both your
spooky
houses.
indeed.
Have you guys been to? Sorry, Soma. Salem, Massachusetts.
Where the witch trials were?
Yeah. So that's a
No.
huge
Why?
Halloween fest. But
Why?
I remember in 7th grade we had a school trip to Boston, and we did visit Salem, and we saw
Boston.
where they hung people for the crime of witchcraft.
Have you ever
Um,
been to Salem, Oregon?
No.
It's not where the witches were.
Yep. So that's a pretty scary place to be.
Is it
good bit-
though? I mean, it was a while ago. You don't need to be scared of getting lynched by an angry witch mob anymore. It's pretty chill.
I mean, what if the souls of the innocent girls like haunt the town?
Well, you see, the thing about that is there's no such thing as ghosts, so you're good. Don't worry about it.
Right. I live in New York, so we up a little upstate. We have Ichabod Crane, where he was Sleepy Hollow with the Headless Horseman. So all the street signs have a little Headless Horseman icon next to the text for tourists.
Is that the reason the planet's black and white? Is because black and white is spookier? Is that?
Well,
That's
the
funny.
Enterprise itself is also faded out.
Yeah. Well, there's a little blue now on the top of the planet, so it's just black and white in a certain light. That
The
planet doesn't-
atmosphere is blue.
Assistant Chief
Yeah.
Engineer DeSalle.
Thanks. You guys ruin everything. With
Yes,
your
exactly.
science-
Thanks for noticing.
With your science facts.
You know who else notices? You know who else ruins everything? Assistant Chief Engineer Lieutenant DeSalle.
You can't even say the sky is blue.
I mean, when the sky is blue, is the worst kind of sky. You want the sky to be gray.
Um, Where did they get that big cat from? I don't understand how they did that special effect of getting a giant black cat.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious. Oh look, there's the cave set before. Like the man trap pretty much probably had the same cave set. And as well as the pilot menagerie cage.
Oh, look at the sky. It's not solid color.
I think
It
they
has
used
bands
fog.
in it for cloud cover.
Oh.
Sophisticated technology.
Wow.
So
And
I found
they used a lot of
Alright,
fog
go
for
ahead.
this episode.
What the hell? So I have a screen protector for my work phone, and
Like a coward.
somehow it has an iPhone screen protector embedded inside of it. It's so
Mm.
weird. This is so weird. I don't know how this got through
Quality control.
quality control. Yeah. So like it's got cut twice. It's got the Samsung pattern and it's got the iPhone pattern cut into the film.
Lieutenant
So it's got
DeSalle, we hardly knew you.
No, Giselle's fine for now.
Okay.
Also, the question, is this the same set from the Cyclops episode? This is the same set from every episode.
Yes.
This is the
they had
They only have one set.
rock set. I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure we're also going to meet Zephram Cochrane here in a bit.
oh my god, this is that episode? Ew.
No, it's not this episode, but it's coming up.
Oh god.
Ew.
Body transplantation. There's a lot going on there. I don't want anyone using my body to mate with anyone else. Thanks very much.
I don't think anyone's using your body to mate in general. Sorry. I
Rude.
couldn't resist.
Very rude.
Well,
Literal howling.
Sorry.
well, I'll say this. I do think that Zephram Cochrane is cute in that episode. So I wouldn't mind.
Zephram Cochrane is cute.
He's super cute.
I'm confused. Is
Hey,
Zephram Cochrane in the
these
woman's
are-
body?
These are the witches from Macbeth. Bubble, bubble, Doyle in trouble. Eye of Newt.
Doyle?
This is... I mean...
Infant's tongue.
Infant's tongue.
I don't know. I'm just making up Shakespeare. Let's see.
One
you
does
recite
not
Macbeth.
simply make up Shakespeare.
Let's see you recite
Why not?
Macbeth.
Shakespeare was just making it up.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
We,
Alright.
These can't be the witches from Macbeth, because the witches in Macbeth had beards.
Yeah. For sure.
These are just, like,
They
they have
cu- yeah,
radiation poisoning or something.
they were cute. Yeah.
They were cute because they had beards? No.
Well, I assume the beards were well groomed. Beards can be cute. It's all good.
You know,
Well, I
in
mean,
there's
I
a
have a
famous
beard, but I wouldn't want
director-
one on my
there's a
lady.
famous director Roman Polanski, and he did a rendition of Macbeth in 1976.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
the witches are naked, and they're like naked old women, and it's just like horrendous to look at them. Like around
Roman Polanski is problematic. Okay, can I just say that and we end it there?
he's a genius. He did Macbeth. He did the first 10 minutes of Cleopatra.
Did you just call Roman Polanski a genius?
Supreme genius.
I don't know enough about Roman Polanski to know if I should mute him right now.
He had to flee the U.S. based on charges.
I don't know
He had
anything
a-
about Roman Polanski.
He was a child
I'm just-
molester.
I'm just saying about his cinema work. Okay, I don't know that he turned out to be a creep. Okay.
Oh, look at Kirk's hair. Everybody else is perfectly groomed still. Kirk's got all blown up by the wind.
You know, something I learned was that you
Curtis
put,
doesn't put enough product in his hair.
well, he's got a lot of it. So
No, it's back to normal now. They cut. It's fine.
something I learned though was that one of the reasons you put fog in the background is because it helps give the image depth in photography and film.
It makes people
No, the
think
reason
the
you put
room is
fog
bigger
there is
than the
because
set.
it's spooky.
Yeah, but in the background though, like, do you ever notice like for school pictures, they have like this randomized picture that fluorescent colors is supposed to imitate that fog kind of thing. Helps you understand the depth of the painting.
Jeez, how many smoke machines did they buy for this?
Yeah, they put in
Probably just rented a bunch.
the whole budget went into this.
Enterprise, come in. Enterprise. Enterprise.
Also, pay attention to just the way Kirk talks in general here whenever he references Halloween. Because I don't know if Canada just didn't have Halloween in the 60s, but he just doesn't seem to really get it.
Mm.
Did Canada not have Halloween in the 60s?
Because Shatner's Canadian. He doesn't really seem to understand the verbiage around
Canada
Halloween.
doesn't have a lot of our holidays. Their Thanksgiving's totally different.
Thanksgiving
Is
is
this-
Of
specifically
course,
an
this
American
Thanksgiving is
holiday.
totally different because it's for a different reason.
Yeah. But yeah, they don't. None of our holidays make sense to them. It's kind of funny.
What?
Like
What?
did Martin Luther King Day,
Why would Canadians celebrate Martin Luther King Day?
right? So they don't understand our holidays.
And
Just because they don't
that's just
celebrate it doesn't mean they
obvious.
don't understand it.
And
Junior.
yeah,
Man, they got to tone down that fog.
The world's most dangerous apex predator.
The domestic cat.
Yes.
well, the Salem in
Yeah.
the Witches,
Yeah.
Teenage Witch.
The
yeah.
Witcher. The
No,
last season of The Witcher
Sabrina
kind
the
of sucked.
Teenage Witch.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the 90s sitcom.
Wait, listen to Kirk. Yep, Kirk, that's definitely how that
Trick-or-treat.
phrase goes, for sure.
They're playing
They're
a
playing an
trick-or-treat.
elaborate
better-
trick or treat on you. What?
That was written for him.
But that's not how Halloween works. You don't
It's not how grammar works.
freaking Canadians.
I didn't grow up with Halloween either, so trick or treat.
I did. It's probably written for him. It wasn't Shatner's up. I don't like Shatner, but it probably wasn't Shatner.
Canadians.
Canadians.
Oh, hey, Assistant Chief Engineer Lieutenant DeSalle.
Can we have anybody from Canuckistan please report in about Halloween?
All Saints Day.
I mean, I would just guess that they celebrate Halloween, but it's not as profitable.
I mean, neither Canada. Actually, I don't know if Canada has Spirit Halloween, but I just know that UK doesn't have Spirit Halloween.
Well,
Had the spirit of Halloween, you said?
No, Spirit Halloween.
it's
The actual
Spirit Halloween
store.
is a store.
But how do, for countries that don't celebrate Halloween, how do they scare off the spirits of the dead when they return to
It's just-
Earth?
Not something necessary.
But shouldn't those countries be infested with ghosts now? Because they just came to hang out?
The what they do is they herd them all into movie theaters where they force them to watch bad sci-fi movies written
Oh, you
by
mean
L.
like Star
Ron
Trek the
Hubbard.
Motion Picture?
Oh, what we do is we just sell them
Hey.
our extra candy.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture is a excellent film and highly underrated and unappreciated.
It's the best
Sure.
film ever.
Yeah, it is explicitly a Halloween episode, unlike other ones.
I love though they make the shadow so giant for the cat, and you're supposed to like suspend your disbelief. This cat is so little. This cat's not even listening.
Of course, the cat is tiny. It's a cat.
It's a cat.
No, but
It's
a
so
very
fluffy.
Yeah, it's very fluffy.
Do you have a cat, Ryan?
No. But I can identify a cat and whether it's fluffy or not.
Do you like cats?
Yeah, man, cats are fine. They're chill.
Mm. I prefer dogs.
Oh, look how the skull of that skeleton, and you can clearly tell it's a classroom skeleton. Or
Because
like a prop?
because
It's
the
got
cap comes
the
off.
seams.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very spooky.
Someone's done a lobotomy on that skeleton.
Dungeons? Dragons?
Where's Gary Gygax when you need him? Didn't Gary Gygax pass away? I think he might have.
That is true though, because this is like a cue moment when it's like, why are you playing into our imagination? Because this is right out of our subconscious.
Who wants to help me set up a 3D printer?
Nobody. You're on your own.
Ouch. Ryan, that's mean.
And Robo, I don't really care for your Taco Bell discussions either.
My Taco Bell discussions?
I'm just saying, as long as we're all piling up on you.
I mean, the rolled chicken tacos are all right.
They're gone.
Oh, they were all right.
Limited time was over. They were good. Yeah, I would get them frequently, but
I mean,
I've
the Taco
reached.
Bell near me, I do appreciate that they fully load up on all the toppings. Like, there's plenty of meat, there's plenty of cheese, there's plenty of lettuce. They're pretty full tacos.
Yeah, they're not skimping on anything.
Yeah.
I you got to get the right person. Like, I like the crunch wraps, but you got to get the right person to make it, because if they put the normal allotted amount, dude, the crunch wrap is so sad. It's barely got anything in it. It's just like tortilla folded on tortilla folded on tortilla. There's just nothing
I
inside.
mean, tortillas are pretty good.
Yeah, but I want there to be like meat and cheese and stuff inside of my crunch wrap.
Oh, a spooky version of a nod.
Spooky. Spoopy.
Is that like for pulling off lug nuts? What is he holding?
What was it? Miss.
It's a G.
It's not a. Well, it's a circle.
It's a cylinder key for a cylindrical lock. They're gonna lead you to their
To the cat.
overlord.
Their kitty overlord, yes.
Meow.
Teleportation? What trickery is this? Truly the most powerful enemy the Enterprise has ever faced.
That's probably the transition though, in terms of everyone being pretty much where they were.
Yeah, worked out. Well, why is he dressed like a wizard?
He's LARPing.
Is he just here to have a good time? He's just trolling them?
Sounds like it. You can't. They're not gonna kill main characters. They have plot armor.
At least until the movies.
Or at least side characters. Do any of them die? I don't think so.
We killed Captain Kirk.
Well,
We dropped a bridge on
sort
him.
of. Yeah, kind of, yeah. But then we have that scene in Picard where his body is apparently in a stasis thing and it's still alive. Somehow.
Don't pet your coworker.
So the chat
Or
is what
do.
gives him the ability to read the minds.
I mean, consent's important, Ryan. So if they explicitly.
Look, just because she transformed into a cat, that's not implied consent to pet her.
No. But I'm just saying she may have given.
Well, the way she's rubbing her head
prior
on his
consent.
arm, though, that might be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I remember now. This is the episode where Kirk makes out with a cat.
Oh yes, her.
Green women wasn't enough. He had to move on to animals.
And if there's anyone here who looks like Satan, Mr. Spock.
The different one.
I mean, I would think you would appreciate that, Mr. Wizard. Your whole planet's without color.
Are you saying that he is binary?
Like
Mr.
a
Spock
computer,
is
yes.
digital?
Okay, so we steal his staff.
It kind
Oh,
of sounds
why?
like he's saying, play along with me and you'll have an easier time of it, and fight me and it's going to suck.
What's he gonna do? Sick the cat on him?
Who knows? What if he could give you an illusion of endless suffering?
My god. Rocks.
Rocks. Where did they get these? I thought this was Starfleet's secret technology.
I mean, would they care? Isn't the...
A
It is supposed
replicator
to
can make
be
those.
post-scarcity at this point, right?
Right. But they still have money.
Kinda, maybe. Oh yeah, no, Kirk doesn't care. It's like, yeah, it's a rock,
Yeah.
man.
This guy
He's doing the
got it
Trelane
wrong.
thing where his knowledge of Earth is like 400 years out of date.
It's like the episode of TNG where that astronaut got marooned and the aliens made him an environment that's
hotel.
based on his book. Yeah. Hotel Royale or whatever.
Or Lieutenant Richie. Or Commander Richie. Worst possible fate.
A fate worse than death.
No, you can totally bribe them, Karab. You just need to do something other than rocks. Bribe them with,
Yeah.
like, antimatter or something.
Dilithium crystals?
Yeah, that'd work. I mean, why not? We did human trafficking for dilithium earlier.
What? What did I miss?
The mud episode.
The mud episode, okay.
Yeah,
But were
Harry
they
Mudd was a
humans
human
or were they
trafficker.
androids?
No, those were humans.
Oh.
They were the
For
people
the
that had to
miners?
take
Like,
the pill to look pretty.
What did she think she was achieving by this? It's so obvious the cat left, she came back, so she's the cat.
No one's figured
Don't
it
be
out
ridiculous. That's absurd. Cats can't be people.
yet. Uh-oh. I'll show you what we did to your men.
I call it a gun.
I've turned them all into simps. I'm actually a Twitch streamer.
So is that her wand? The crystal? What did he just do? Like, I
You
think the
break
implication
her.
was supposed to be that he threw the rocks at Scotty, but I didn't see him actually throw anything. He just dropped them. Hallmark.
It's quite a nice prop they made.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that is literally a commercial Christmas tree
Toy.
decoration.
Voodoo.
Like a Matchbox toy.
Oh my god. She was like cooking the Enterprise, right?
She's about to.
Oh no.
100 degrees inside, Captain.
So it's weird. They're like the Q, but they also have technology.
They're
Actually,
discount Q.
without the technology though, they're like little worms or something.
No, they're. Oh, we're gonna see their form at the end. They're like those Menomina puppets.
But that's a pretty cool pewter casting of the Enterprise.
Oh, I thought you said it's a pretty cool pewter, like, computer.
I mean,
It's a
pewter's
pretty
pretty
nice
sick.
pewter
It's a
you
good
got
material. We don't make enough stuff
Pewter?
out of
Is it-
pewter anymore.
Probably because it contains lead.
Yeah, but it looks
Antimony.
neat.
It's very moldable.
Do you have Warhammer 40,000 miniatures? I still have some pewter miniatures.
For a
I
start,
can tell you the plastic is better.
I had Star Wars Monopoly as a kid, and we had Darth Vader in pewter, and
Yeah.
TIE Fighters and Leia.
I'm not certain
Right.
that those are pewter.
No, the box set pewter.
Pewter was an interesting
Oh,
choice
okay.
for those models for those games.
Yeah.
For Warhammer?
Because for anything like that, because it's a how I don't know actually how much
The
pewter
reason-
costs,
the
but it's not a
reason-
very great one.
The reason why they did pewter as opposed to plastic is because pewter molds are way cheaper to make than
Mm.
plastic injection molds. Like orders of magnitude cheaper. But now they've gone to
The level on detail of pewter is pretty impressive.
So, unrelated, my question about what just happened is, why didn't Spock just shoot her? He had a
'cause
gun
he has
pointed at her, and
standards.
she was attacking the Enterprise.
She was cooking the Enterprise.
Yeah, and he had a gun. He could do something about it.
Just
Could he stun her? You don't even know if it'd be effective
could've-
against her.
He
It's
could
like-
have tried.
What would have happened if she would have dropped the model of the Enterprise and he stunned her? Would the
Yeah.
Enterprise been
I think
subjected to like huge shear forces?
that was a demonstration of her power.
Like, what if the little toy fell on the ground and shattered? Did the ship fall apart?
It'd have been fine.
You remember when the Tikan Empire had taken out power from the Enterprise D and the Ferengi ship, and then the power they were all freezing to death?
Oh yes, Bill Shatner. Is that how Canadians say it? Telekinesis?
Yeah.
No, it's just probably just a chat. No, sorry, a
Do we have a
Shatnerism.
resident Canadian here?
I don't.
Don't think so.
No.
Elizabeth, are
Although-
you Canadian? We need a Canadian.
Phone a Canadian. Phone a
I
friend.
don't think I know any Canadians. I know of several Canadians, but I don't.
You know,
I've never
the
met a
wor-
Are
Canadian.
Canadians even real?
Yeah,
the word
have
cha-
you been to Canada? Is there such a thing as
Yeah.
Canada?
I have been to Canada.
How
No,
do you
it
know it
just
was
advises
Canada and
that
not just
it
like
doesn't
Montana
exist.
and they turned you around?
Can you get Canada on the phone for me?
Because Canada is a 30-minute drive from where I'm at. So
Yeah, but how do you know you're actually in Canada? How do you know you're not just like getting turned around on the
'Cause
roads?
because the streets are clean and the people are polite.
I mean, if you go to the deep south, it's the same thing. They'll serve you iced tea.
Sweet tea. Sweet tea. I would get so fat on sweet tea. It's like my favorite.
That's that country
I don't
cooking.
know. I feel like Southern hospitality comes with conditions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's certain conditions. Let's not discuss that.
You have
know,
to fit into certain groups.
Yes, Ryan, that was implied.
Racism.
Yes.
There we go.
I thought we were avoiding it, but
No,
here it
I'm not
is.
avoiding it.
Uh,
Also,
I, you
political
know,
stance.
You know,
I think
there was a lot of segregation in Boston public schools and Chicago public schools. You know, it's not like the South was like the only segregated place in the country.
the
People are
South
racist
doesn't have a monopoly on racism.
or
That's for sure.
segregation. Yeah.
Oh, Monopoly, bringing it back to the pewter. Yes.
Yes. Good one. Good one.
I mean, I had Star Wars Risk, which was
Mhm.
pretty good. They had like special abilities you could activate as you gain control of the galaxy. You could
Mhm.
eventually activate Order 66.
That's really cool. I didn't know they had Star Wars Risk.
There's several Star Wars risks.
And then I always had plastic parts for my Risk. I never seen metal parts.
There's also a Lord of the Rings Risk that was really good. I don't remember what the special features were of it. There was something special about it.
Lord of the Rings Risk. Was
was
it a
good.
Middle Earth map instead of Earth? I would assume.
No,
So my
that's
best friend,
ridiculous. Clearly, it was on Mustafar.
my best friend's a lawyer, and
Ridiculous.
he's a corporate lawyer. So now he's worked for a couple of high priced law firms. And so he told me about this court case where somebody invented a game like Monopoly, and Hasbro took them to court saying like, look, you can't make a square with like squares on the square and then you buy properties and multiply your money. So the court said, basically ruled in the guy's favor, saying, look, whatever he copied from your game, you didn't copyright, and whatever you could copyright, he didn't copy. So you don't have a case. So because of that, the Hasbro comes out with everything branded possible for Monopoly, because if they don't come out with it, somebody else could easily come out with like a Star Wars Monopoly and or whatever.
Clone.
Yeah, and then because they don't have a legal basis for actually protecting the game. I assume Risk is the same thing. You can't own a world map and throw dice in territories.
Oh well, I don't know. And it's how old is Risk now? Like, at what point does it become public domain?
It was invented by a French company in the 1911s or so, but
French invented Risk.
yeah, Napoleonic Wars.
Okay, well, I feel like
I'm
if the
pretty
French
sure it
invented
was
Risk,
Canada,
you would
actually.
just
That's why
surrender when
Bill
people
Shatner
attack.
says Risk is his business.
But
Nobody
wow,
caught that. It's
Lord of the
okay.
Rings, Risk, you had that, right?
Yeah, good game.
And it had metal pewter parts.
No, they
Lord of
were plastic.
Okay. Did you like playing
Lotor.
the bad guy or the good guy?
I think they were all the same.
Do you still have the set?
I don't think they were factions. I think it was just.
That'd be cool if they had little orc army and elf army and dwarf army and human army.
I remember
I
keeping
mean,
my
they
Risk
might.
board
It's
for
been
the
like 20
longest time.
years.
Yeah. Do you still
I
have
don't-
it?
No,
Okay.
Where did it go? What happened?
I don't know. It
A
was
bunch of
20
names,
years
right?
ago. Leave me alone.
You're not that old.
I'm over 20.
Are you guys scared yet?
No.
Of what? The Christmas, the Halloween decorations and the classroom skeleton
Yeah.
and the cat.
You guys make me want to buy a Risk game though.
Well, if you want to buy Lord of the Rings Risk, it's apparently $75 now on Amazon.
That's not too bad.
That's cheap.
It's really old, and you can
It's
clearly
probably
see the
out. It's
box is
probably out
really
of
beat
print.
up.
Go on eBay. Maybe you can find
There's
one
a-
that's in better
There's
shape.
a trilogy one for 45.
A trilogy.
Plastic.
Let's see. Lord of the Rings Risk came out in 2002.
Right. 21 years old. It can drink.
And apparently there are, in fact, factions. You can either have elven archers or orcs, riders of Rohan or dark riders, eagles or cave trolls. For your infantry, cavalry, and cannons.
Oh, I forgot.
Cannons.
The original Risk had wooden pieces. I totally forgot about it. And they were just like blocks and cubes.
Don't threaten me, witch. With old magic, I was there when it was written. Or don't quote me, old magic. I don't know. I didn't see that movie or read the book.
Don't quote me the old magic. I wrote the documentation. I think that was the line.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I had an instance like that. I wrote a thing on advanced gunning transceiver logic, and I had emailed an engineer at NVIDIA to ask some questions, and I was like, hey, I just want to confirm that this works this way, blah blah blah. And he linked me my own thing. He's like, you should read this. And I was like, yeah, thanks, I wrote it.
But did you read it?
Well, I wrote it, so don't need to read it. I already know what the content is.
These captions continually replace I with one.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Is she?
Yeah, there's no Vaseline on the camera. How am I supposed to tell?
So
She wants more.
She
wants more.
has a crush on Kirk.
I mean, by Muppet standards, he's pretty attractive.
Muppet standards.
Did you ever play Settlers of Catan?
Is he going to show her what it's like to have?
He's gonna make out with a
intimacy?
cat, is what's gonna happen.
I mean, that's some people's dream in real life. So
Are you calling Captain Kirk a furry?
I'm just
That's
saying.
not furry. That's whatever the word is.
Oh, I think Soma just outed himself as a furry.
No, I'm just saying that
No, he's
that's
saying he's the
not
other
what being a furry is. It's not actual
bestiality.
attraction to animals.
Furry is not bestiality. That's correct.
Yeah, and
that's
she's not
dumb.
really a cat.
Let's
It's
get
the
our
same
kinks
logic.
straight, guys. Okay, let's not kink shame anyone.
Except Captain Kirk?
Yeah, that's what Robo's doing. He's
think-
kink shaming Kirk.
I think there's a certain. It's not kink shaming when what they're doing is like illegal.
Have you played Settlers of Catan, right? Or
No, I've
Company?
never heard of it. What's that always
That
a
can
ton?
still be kink shaming.
It's a strategy game. I've never played it either, but apparently it's like you're a future terraforming colony or something.
It's not accurate.
Settlers of Catan. Aren't they
Pioneers.
like a
Pioneers.
aren't they like a it's supposed to be like a pre-industrial civilization?
I don't like games where you have to play as a primitive.
There's an Elder Scrolls game, Skyrim the adventure game, for $91.
Why would you do that? You can just go on ChatGPT and say, "Wait, what is happening?" But yeah, you can go on ChatGPT and just say, "We are now playing a Skyrim text adventure game, and you are the game master. Go."
Can you?
Yeah, man, of course. You can totally do that. I mean, it'll probably get some of the details wrong because it's making things up, and it's a
So wait, I have an idea. Can we do a Dungeons and Dragons campaign where the DM is
It specifically doesn't
ChatGPT?
work well like
it'll
that.
get incoherent. Not too far into it. That's something you
Well,
could
that's
probably make it work for like
part of
1
the
or
adventure.
2 hours. The transmuter? Yes, tell me more about the source of your power.
So this is where Kirk learned early on that if you just seduce the bad guy or the bad girl, then
He'll tell you the whole plan.
Loose lips sink ships.
But she doesn't even have a ship.
We're not even sure if she has lips.
She told him the source of her power. Well, you're using him.
You were just using me for a free dinner. It's very rude.
So I know a lady who was setting up dates every night of the week on dating apps just to get dinner. Just
Did you buy her
ghosting the
dinner?
guys afterwards. No, I did not get caught up in that scam. She's
Have you
someone I
tried
know,
being
and
pretty enough to
I
get free dinner
disapprove.
every night?
You don't even have to be pretty because you just create a fake account. I mean, you could use like some AI retouched images or whatever, and then they show up, and the dude pays and you leave. I mean, unless the guy just gets up and leaves immediately.
I've done that.
You catfished a guy to get a free meal.
No, I got up immediately when the person was
okay.
not as attractive as I thought they were going to be.
So what you're saying is you're shallow. Got it.
It was hard to look at and eat.
That's very rude, actually.
Let me mute myself. Thank you, guys.
It's a concerning way of looking at people. I think, what's his name? God, thank God I'm actually forgetting. I think Rick Berman might be rubbing off on you.
No, it was just the online thing has not worked out for me since. I had a good streak, and then after that, I never had any success. So it's not for me.
Do we know why Karab is betraying her? I mean, I know he's explaining himself right now, but I still don't really get it. He's just not into the kidnapping
Destroy.
thing. That's the
Yeah.
whole reason.
Yeah, he's just not into being hurtful to others.
He wants to be a friendly wizard.
I think like also she talks down to him. She always
He
treats
wouldn't-
him
yeah.
like like he's Igor. Like your job is to just turn on the machine, and I'm the scientific genius.
Maybe he's more of a dog person.
This cat is also doing her work, her dirty work.
I'm like 80% sure that's just an intern yelling into a microphone.
No, that's a panther, a mountain lion, or a cougar, whatever you want to call it. That's a real sound of the American mountain lion. You're from the West, Ryan. You should know. I remember watching
Yes,
this.
the most ruthless, most terrifying of animals, Felis catus.
Tigers are pretty ferocious.
This isn't a tiger, it's a house cat. It's a kitty.
We saw how small it was before, but you
It
didn't
was
see
rubbing up against people wanting to be pet.
and it was like looking down the chute trying to jump down because that's a cat's natural instinct.
Yep, that looks very realistic. It's very giant cat, yes.
Spooky. Spooky. And it's the show assumes we don't know how shadows work. Like, doesn't every cartoon show there's this like tiny little flea that casts a giant
It's
shadow?
just
and
that
you
they
think
can't CGI a giant cat, so they're working with what they've got, which is a cat.
Right. Which is a cat through a small tunnel. So we're supposed to think it's a human-sized cat.
Doesn't look giant. It
No,
just looks like
no.
a cat, but
Okay, but I
they're
will say
trying.
that
They're
the
trying.
the final special effects shot when the thing is in the door, that's pretty good. The thing has its like head sticking out through the door. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See? Are you scared?
Nope. It's still just a cat.
Just showing its teeth.
Kirk, you've got a gun.
Shoot her! Shoot her!
So we had to read a classic of American fiction, Edith Wharton's book,
Edith Wharton must die.
and it was called Ethan Frome was the name of the book, and at the end, basically, like this woman, this man wanted to get out of his relationship, and it happens so that, but his cat, basically, the wife's cat haunts the house afterwards. So the cat is the bad guy. That's like the fiction trope.
Now I have to say again that hypnosis doesn't work this way. It would be impossible to get them to hurt Kirk.
I would like to say hypnosis doesn't work.
No, it does actually. It is a real
In the
thing. It's just you
60s.
can't get someone to do things they intrinsically would not do.
Right, but also
You can
it's
influence someone's actions.
right.
You can't change them.
right, and also some people are more suggestive than others.
Yeah.
So we all know Ryan's skeptical of everything.
About psychic influence, yes.
About Hocus Pocus, yes.
Unfortunately, you are not able to cast the spell Suggestion in real life. I know it's a low-level spell.
These are not the Jedi you're looking for.
I bet you can't even cast a cantrip in real life.
Uh-oh, the torch went out because the kitty is about to attack.
Well, that's fine. If you could cast a cantrip, you could
Just that
just
the
light
face
it up.
doesn't have power.
What are they doing to that kitty to make it growl and show its teeth all the time?
Probably aggravating it.
Yeah, poking it with the stick. I'm glad we don't use this animals for motion picture anymore.
What are you talking about?
Like,
They still use live animals.
we use
On
mostly
film?
CGI now. CGI.
No,
They still use live animals on film.
Apparently, in
Mostly-
at least one movie, to get a cat to hiss, they put a fake cat in front of the real cat to make it angry at the fake cat.
Okay, good. They didn't have to poke the cat. I thought they were.
Okay,
poking
she's
it.
in human form again. Hit her with a mace.
She's too hot to be hit with mace.
There's no such thing. Just hit her with a mace.
The wand is very interesting.
Ear review. I just gotta say this: equal rights, equal fights.
Was that a women's lib thing?
Just
Oh,
don't go
okay.
hitting people.
Yeah. Oh, for her wand.
Except her. Hit her with the mace.
You know, one thing I liked about DJ Stein and Quirk's Promenade, he always had the best banners hanging out from the background. Like, I think one time when the Klingons were about to invade, he had this like "Welcome Klingons," but he was supposed to do "Welcome Cardassians." So they got some good drapery in the back of this shot. Mm-mm.
What are they talking about?
Well, my boss told me once she had surgery to take out her uterus, and I told her, "You're a woman, though."
Don't say that to
I was
anyone.
okay. She's my friend, but so I was okay. But you know, it's the thing. Not having a uterus doesn't make you any less of a woman. Is what I was trying to say. I was talking about my cat.
Well, I don't have a uterus.
You're not all woman then.
I'm just gonna cut this bit off real quick.
It's probably for the best.
So anyway, look, Kirk has a gun now. Wow. You see what I mean? They're the Phenomena puppets.
They're kind of cute when
They
you
have
think about it.
flowers for eyes. And they have tentacles on their faces like Cthulhu.
I wish we were as cute as that species. They're just helpless though. There's no way
How
they
are
could
they
build
even
civilization.
spacefaring? They don't have grasper limbs.
There's no way they could ever. And look, they're withering away like Beanie Babies.
Rest in peace.
You, you know that Allegiance episode though? Picard was kidnapped along with 3 other aliens, and those aliens were apparently like super intelligent, but they didn't have like a mean bone in their bodies other than kidnapping people for scientific experiment. But Picard just shoos them off the ship. So you could have, let's say, a planet that had entirely like herbivorous primates that never knew aggression, that were allowed to
Okay,
develop scientifically.
That wasn't my issue with it, though.
Okay.
They
My
didn't
issue with these aliens
understand
being spacefaring is they don't have
kidnapping.
hands. How are they going to build anything?
Very carefully.
You know, it may be like the menagerie aliens, the Oceans, because basically their mind out.
Yeah, they did it with their
mind.
minds.
Yeah.
They
Like
built ships
Oh,
with their minds.
through some form of telekinesis, right?
yes.
Telekinesis. Yep.
Thanks,
The word
Bill.
the word was kind of new back then in defense of William Shatner.
Okay, so that's all episodes for today. What is going on next? Next
In
is
defense of
I Mud, which is about
Hardcore mud.
We all know who Harcourt is.
Yes.
Metamorphosis, which is my least favorite episode. I hate it. It's the worst.
Yuck.
And then Journey to Babel, which is we meet the Tellarites.
And we meet Spock's parents.
Yeah, we see the evil Romulan commander turned into Spock's dad.
Sarek and Amanda. And by the way, Spock has not spoken to his dad in 20 years.
Yeah, whatever. Spock has family issues. It's fine. I don't know if that's going to be next week. I may or may not have plans on Sunday, but once I know what the schedule is, I'll put it on as an event, and it should be good.
Yes.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, chat.
We're done here. Everybody go away.
thank you, peoples. The higher, the fewer.